Do Scope, it's Queese.
B.
Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with the channel, supporting, subscribing. We appreciate it all.
Thank you.
Again, we know we appreciate it. I want to start off this episode by apologizing to you, sir.
For about what we
Paul George has been absolutely garbage. I try to wait it out. I was like, look, man, we ain't sitting on our hands. We trying to make a move. We trying to be competitive.
Right.
I'm gonna support it. Let me give him at least 25 games. At least I could do. But I ain't seeing crap. I ain't seeing nothing from this man. I feel like we got robbed. Point blank simple. I feel like he got robbed.
I said it. I'm sorry.
The man can't hit a shot from past 15 feet. Like, I don't understand. Then I see a quote. He talking about he bored playing center. The way you playing, you be lucky you on the court at this point. Like, I can't.
He act like he can't score. Like he forgot how to play the game. Like he can't hit a shot. He not even as aggressive as he used to be. That's the other thing, bro. I'm like, yo, what? Like,
I didn't think asking for Tobias production was so hard to ask.
Apparently it is.
I thought it was reasonable.
Apparently
give
it
me
is.
14, 15, and you know, I don't know. Like I said, because he is giving us 15.
But how are we
efficient
using
15, brother?
Right. So I'm saying, you don't think it's how we use them? Like how Nick Nurse might be got the team running? Because first of all,
I would say that if it ain't had nothing to do with a shot, like it's just a shooting. Like,
but I have an issue with these on days, off days, because you can't get no rhythm that way. You can't get no flow that way. You on one day, you off, sitting out the next day, you on again. Like this dude ain't Kawhi. And that's the same. And I seem like that's what the Sixers try to adopt with Nick Nurse. They like, all right, he did it with Kawhi. He got Toronto the all the way through with Kawhi having this injury, and he just managed it on off. Maybe he can do it. No, it's not the same. You're not the same caliber player. You're not the same style. Heck, they're not even the same age.
But I think at first though, like, you know, because they did come out and say like they plan was to rest him on back-to-backs. Right. But I think now they forced to because he actually hurt. He getting hurt. He actually really getting hurt now.
They all getting hurt. It's not just them. They all getting hurt. Joel.
I don't think the plan was initially resting. But I think now they like, damn, we got to stick to the plan now.
Right.
Homie really getting injuries, groin injuries, knee injuries, whatever. Like,
you got too many injury-prone players on this team right now, man.
We just lost our rookie for the year.
Yeah, yep. It's a messed up thing.
So I just want to start the episode by apologizing to you on that.
Sorry.
And this is gonna go actually into our what I want to talk to you next. This is gonna actually go into what I want to talk to you next about,
which is
look at the landscape around the sports that we watch and consume, right?
Right.
Whether it's, you know, football, basketball, baseball, whatever, right?
Right.
You see firings going on every day. Like, everybody's getting fired, let go.
Yeah, then the football. So who coaches got fired?
Antonio Pierce got fired.
Right.
Right.
A couple of other.
The guy from Gerard Mayo, I think his name is on. The Patriots got fired.
Mm-hmm.
These are dudes that was on 1-year contracts, right? You flip it over to them, not on 1-year contracts, but they was there for a year. You flip it over to the NBA.
Right.
It's a different type of, situation over there. But what I want to ask you, though, is do you feel like the lack of patience is ruining sports right now?
I would absolutely say the lack of patience. Teams don't want to wait. I think
fans don't want to wait either.
Fans ain't gonna never want to wait. It's never gonna be a fan base that say, I'll wait for a team. You can't worry about the fans. It's the organization and it's the players. And I would say, I think what happens is I was having a conversation with somebody and just popped in my head. I think the fact that you have leagues becoming a copycat league now, to where they see a formula work for one team. And instead of them trying to figure out how to develop their own culture, how to develop their own style and their organization, and letting a coach cultivate that, they like, we need to win now. So you got to come in with a style, a style of play that, or with a scheme for football that's going to get us the victory now. You got 2 years to do it. 2 years, you out of here. I'm like, yo, that doesn't.
No matter who my QB is, no matter what roster you give me, I only got a year to. Because I think it's two different issues when you're talking about the NFL and the NBA.
What you think?
I think the NFL side is the owners. I think on the NBA side is the players. If you're looking at the landscape of the NBA, these veterans, these dudes that's getting old up in age, or even guys on their rookie contracts about to finish,
right?
They either won out or they want to win immediately now, or they won out. Not understanding you got drafted because this team was the worst in the league,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
So you gotta be part of the rebuild of this team.
Right. Or if you go into you're looking at the veterans now, you got somebody like, DeMar DeRozan, right? Or a guy who went over to Sacramento, right? He got picked up.
Right.
It ain't really working out the way it's supposed to work out. Now, reports are Mike Brown came to him and asked him to go off the bench. He was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Not doing everything it takes to actually win. And then you talking about star players who force the teams to make moves to gut the roster because they think it's going to help them win the championship, and then when it don't work,
they ain't got nothing to show for it.
Go to the Clippers. How many picks they traded for Paul George?
They almost gave the whole.
Shai Gilgeous was going.
They almost gave the whole farm.
All these dudes was going, right?
Yeah, they gave the whole farm. They gave the farm for that.
You go up the Lakers.
Same thing.
They blew up their team to get Westbrook.
Same
See
thing.
how that turned out.
Right.
Like, you got these guys, teams blowing up everything that they're playing or whatever they plan on doing because these stars want to win now and gut the roster.
But they they only certain players get that control.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox trying to do it. Remember, he talking about now, if y'all don't give me win competitive,
I can't be mad at De'Aaron because how long you been with San Antonio for? Almost 8 years now?
With the Kings.
With the Kings. With the Kings. You've been with the Kings for 8 years now.
I don't know about 8. I think like 25. So I'll say like 5 years.
All right.
5 years.
Well, he tried to stick it out because he started out with them when they wasn't nothing.
But they was they just had the top 2 record in the West like 2 years ago.
I know, but
if the team fell back, look in the mirror. Like, it's the same roster. Look in the mirror.
But you'd be surprised when you trade off certain. That's the thing I think people don't understand. The league is trying to do, and I think that's the crazy part. They're trying to stack so much talent on a team, not realizing that you don't just only need talent. You need people to play roles. You need people to play positions. You need people that actually are going to complement each other in the style of play. You can't force that. You can't just say, "Oh, he's a star player or he's a good player. I can bring him over to my team with my good player, and they're just going to be a cohesive unit." You can't force that. That's not going to always be the case with every player you bring up. You got to watch. See that again. I'm about to sound like the old guy. You got to understand style of play. Like you had teams where if you had somebody who had a post up team that you played in the post. Mm-hmm. You played out of the post. You had a center. So if you bring somebody, you ain't gonna bring another post and center to your team. Right. You're gonna bring a guard, like a point guard or a 2 guard to complement the post style of play.
Right.
Now these teams are like, let's put Cat when they put the Minnesota Twins out, let's put Cat and Rudy Gobert out. So you got 2 dudes that are big men. Like that's not gonna work in the long run.
How many picks they traded to get Rudy, or how much did they give up to get Rudy?
They gave up too much money to get Rudy.
Like that could have been the next pieces to actually get a running mate for Anthony Edwards, right? Or maybe find a better situation for somebody to trade later down the line.
Right.
But you're trying to win immediately with a guy who's 22, 23 years old. He's not like it's the journey. Look at OKC. Shai Gilgeous, when he got drafted there, said, we ain't going to be losing for too much longer. And what'd he do? He stuck it out, and they got more and more better players every single year, and now they won the best team in the West, arguably.
Right, and the coach has been there for maybe 3-4 years now?
Something like that. Yeah, so, and they built it.
Right, that's what you got to do.
Boston, how many times Boston lose before they won? You got to build it. Everybody want to win in 1 to 2 years, and you blowing.
And you can't do it.
You can't. It's unrealistic, dog. Like you need a generational talent to do this. Like you need a Patrick Mahomes in football to do that. It took him like 2-3 years. Like that's what you need. But you ain't gonna get
But at the same time, when you have a generational talent, you have to have a culture for that generational talent to, either be established in or have created.
Right. You need an Andy Reid to help morph that and bring that culture in. Right. You need these
because they're firing coaches, like they're firing somebody left and right. Like after 2-3 years, I'm like, you had coaches come into the league or even come to teams and try to build a culture. You can actually see the culture starting to show up, but because it's not a winning culture at the moment, because they don't have the pieces to make their scheme work correctly. Oh, now you fired.
I mean, look at it too, though. Quarterbacks get benched after like 1 year. One bad year.
Yeah.
Right.
That too.
Dwayne Haskins, he got, rest in peace. He got benched really early. You look at so many of these not stars, but so many young quarterbacks. Bryce Young, he got benched. First year, like they bench you so early, you don't even get the time to get patience. And that's on both sides, because maybe he should have been sitting behind a more veteran quarterback.
But again, they don't do that no more.
Right. It's patience on both ways. Either let him learn patience.
Right.
Or if you're going to throw him out there, give him a couple of years to figure it out. Like, you the Panthers. What you ain't expecting to win anyway.
Right.
Like,
you shouldn't be expecting to win for the next 5 years.
It's making the fans a lot more entitled where you're conditioning the fan
to think that's the same way, and then you got the young players coming in. Now they thinking the same thing, like, oh, all right, this team's about winning now. I need to get winning now, or else I'm out of here. Like, if they don't give me a chance to win in the next 2 years, I went out. Like, get me out of here, trade me, give me whatever the case. I'm like, listen,
you gotta.
Y'all have to. Yeah. The league has got to figure out a better way to try to establish a way, opportunity for players and coaches to develop before you decide, all right, I'm gonna pull the plug on something. Like, I know there's an other side to this argument, which would be what the Sixers did. They did this whole breakdown, rebuild, got Ben Simmons, got Joel. Right. We had freaking
that was a patient strategy, and the fans ain't like that.
Right. It was a patient strategy that we thought was going to pay off, and right now it looks like it's not paying off because everything's been blown up. We still got Joel, thankfully, but everything's been blown up. And we're looking at a team that barely might not even see the playoffs this year, depending on how they playing right now.
The only reason that ain't work because they went up against another team who also was taking the patient approach, as in Boston.
But that's what I'm saying. But that can happen. But that can happen. Some teams.
But the strategy worked, as far as like the patient strategy. It worked for Boston. It didn't work for us. But we both was there. You know what I'm saying? And if that Jimmy shot go a different way, whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
Even Toronto, right? Toronto took a patient approach. They had DeRozan for a long time before they tried to get Kawhi and plug him into that team, right?
But that was a fluke.
And they went straight. Most times that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
most times you ain't gonna just get a guy, plug him in, and it just go like that.
Right, that was a fluke.
But, Milwaukee, they took a patient approach with Giannis.
They did.
They got Chris Middleton. Nobody was expecting him to be what he was.
Right.
You surround him with Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis. You're not expecting that.
You're not. But
they gave it a couple years, and look where it happened. But if you can't expect these quick results, and that's social media and these radio shows and these debate shows where everything is getting
even the sports
criticized after every move, every loss, all that stuff.
But it's a crazy situation. I mean, I understand both sides of the argument because you got people looking at how. That's how this whole crazy stuff started, as far as I'm concerned. Where you got teams looking at how Kerr came into the league.
Right.
He came in with a winning style of play. I mean, technically, he picked up from where Mark Jackson left off, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But either way, he came in with his own style of play. He took D'Antoni's offense, then he mixed that with the triangle offense that he learned from Phil Jackson, and he created that style in Golden State. And Golden State just took off with that. They just took off with that.
Right.
That's how they try to draft Nash for freaking Brooklyn, saying maybe Nash can do the same thing. No, like it's not going to work like that. Everybody's not going to catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
you're not going to everything. Sometimes have to fall in place where you got the right players, the right coach, everybody work together and they built something over there. You're not going to get that. So I would say for me, I think that as far as the teams that got to go, you got to at least if you sign a coach, give him 5 years minimum. That should be just the minimum to see what he can do with what you got.
Well, all I know is. Hey, y'all look at me. Y'all look at me. No matter what Hurts do, no matter what he do, y'all better not draft a QB, and y'all better not go sign somebody. That boy is young, and that boy can play still. Mm-hmm. You gotta be patient. Mm-hmm. I understand we got guys at every position. It ain't the time to pull the trigger yet. That coach will go before. You gotta be patient. Now, if you go out there and throw 5-6 picks, then I'll delete this part of the video.
Man, they already talking about Kenny Pickett.
But if we go up there and he ball out and we lose, I don't want to hear nothing.
It's funny you mentioned that because they already yelling Kenny Pickett, right?
Well, he was bad when he came in for Hurts anyway.
No, they're yelling to replace Hurts with Kenny Pickett.
I know, but Kenny Pickett was bad.
I know that, but they were talking about, we need to replace him. Like, do you see how the team, how he's able to spread the ball?
Yeah,
he getting the ball out in every 3 seconds, like he's not hesitating like Hurts did. I'm like,
Well, some people don't like him. What it is.
You know what that is for some aspect. I'm like, seriously, like this man was just your MVP quarterback 2 years in a row. Granted, it was 2 years ago, but.
Like, it ain't that far away.
It's not. And y'all
time move quick. It ain't that far.
Well, apparently time moves faster than what we thought. Cause they ready to throw him out. I'm like, dude, Kenny Pickett didn't come in and show me nothing to say to he should be the star. Like, it'd be a different story if Hurts was bad.
Right.
Bad or sticking up. He didn't show me nothing where I'm like, all right. It's time to replace somebody. Like, I don't know. Like, but see,
And
there you go with your fans.
Right.
With your fan thing, you're giving the fans the entitlement now of already wanting to say, all right, this guy came in, he did something that the other coach quarterback couldn't do. We gonna win now. Yeah, and yo, speaking of quarterbacks, you ever think about this?
What?
You know, there's only one quarterback with multiple championships in the league now.
For what?
Football.
Yeah, in football?
It's only one. No other quarterback got multiple championships. Technically,
Yeah.
there's only other two quarterbacks that got championships.
Well, most of the quarterbacks in the league pretty much young. And you know, they not even in their 30s yet.
I know, but
Outside of like, you know, Stafford.
and he only got one. Stafford got one. And the only quarterback that got one is still in the league now was Russell.
Mahomes.
No,
Mahomes got
I said there's.
I mean, I know one. I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying Mahomes is the only one with multiple championships. You would think all this talent at quarterback position.
Well, he low key got a dynasty, man. He low key got a dynasty,
and that was a dynasty built between Andy Reid and him.
Yeah, he got a dynasty. I mean, that's what it's designed to do. When Mike was dominating, he had his dynasties. You couldn't name nobody else who got rings really outside of Hakeem, right?
And
so it was like the once you get a dynasty, that's what happens.